Working from home has become a hallmark of the pandemic. And while it certainly has its benefits, such as flexible schedules and less commute stress, it can also lead to bad habits like mindless snacking. A recent study found 2/3 of Americans have been eating between meals more often since the start of the pandemic.
We are just feet from our kitchen. And not only that, we are at home and we are feeling stressed, bored, and lonely. So, this is an increase in emotional eating, stress eating, and a lot of mindless snacking.
With no end in sight to remote work, health experts are reminding people to practice mindful eating. It's a technique that can help you control your cravings, maintain a healthy weight, and lower stress and anxiety. Mindful eating takes practice, but for starters, sit down at an actual table away from your workspace.
Pick a snack spot. And when you have a snack, it's fine to have a snack. Just stop what you're doing, move to that spot, and that's where you have your snack. Psychologists call that localizing a behavior so that we're not snacking at many different times in many different locations.
Next, take time to enjoy your meal or snack without distractions. If you eat too fast, your brain may not recognize when you're full until you've already eaten too much. Stop eating once you're full, and lastly, make sure you're truly hungry and not just bored before indulging in the next snack. Of course, choosing healthy snacks is also key. Nutritionists recommend foods high in protein and healthy fats such as nuts, veggies with hummus, or yogurt and fruit. Ashley Afonso, Fox 61 News.